Greetings, this is Vatsai, and today I want to talk about a theory about a second tree of harmony. Warning! There are some reasons you may want to miss out this video. Some theories like the evolution theory or the general theory of relativity have changed the way people see the world. This can happen to fictional worlds as well. This is a general world building theory and has next to zero effect on the show. And the last one, if you like your princess-centered ponyverse, this video is not suited for you. The foundation. Before I can go to the second tree, I have to establish the tree of harmony as source of life. The word tree is no new concept. In multiple cultures and religions, there is a tree that breathes life or is the most important part of the world. Specific word trees include Velakva in Hungarian mythology, Arjana in Turkic mythology, Yggdrasil in Norse mythology, and Ashvaza in Hindu mythology. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce any of them correctly. For this theory, you don't need any information about them, because Ecclesia works on its own laws. The Tree of Harmony gave Celestia and Luna the power to defeat Discord. Let's go further than this. The tree gave life to Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns, attempt to create a symbiotic ecosystem, but when it failed, the alicorns got created to maintain the system. Hints for the second tree. What do we notice when we see the canon tree of harmony? Celestia's, Luna's, and Twilight's cutie marks. Where is Caden's cutie mark? She's an artificial alicorn, but so is Twilight. So there is no excuse for the missing. Even if her cutie mark is on the backside, we would have seen it in this scene. So the first hint is cadence. The second is the fruit of the second tree, the crystal heart. From this point on, the second tree is called the Tree of Heart, while the first one kept his canon name. The fruits of the trees keep powerful even after they got pulled out. To give this theory a little weight, I have to construct an ecosystem with the canon material. Remind, ecosystem. One shark lives on hundreds of small fishes. The system do not need an equal amount of creatures to be balanced. Also, individuals doesn't count, as long as there are enough to carry on the duty. If 1, 2 or even 100 of apple trees don't carry any fruits, as long as there are enough, that doesn't affect the system. The Tree of Harmony has Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns. Earth ponies create food supplement. Pegasus are in charge of the weather, and unicorns, let's leave them out for a moment. With the crystal hearts being located in the Crystal Empire, the crystal ponies make the first race of the Tree of Heart. The other two are the changelings and the Wendigos. The crystal ponies are the food supplement for the other races in the system. The advantage of this is that only the crystal ponies need actual food while the others are feeding on their emotion, while keeps the source alive. The Wendigos are in charge of the weather. The more hatred they feed, the colder it gets.
Our Star Swirl the Bearded taught me about them. They're winter spirits that feed off fighting and hatred. The more hate the spirit feels, the colder things become.
The changelings are left out like the unicorns before. Likewise with the alicorns for the Tree of Harmony, there has to be power to balance out the system. Of course you know who I'm talking about. The first avatar of the Tree of Heart is Queen Crisis, the second is King Sombra. Balance and conflict. Time to put the avatars in perspective. Prince Celestia is a monarch. King Sombra is a tyrant. But both are the ruler of their kind. By the way, how else would you describe Sombra from Celestia's point of view? Alicorns are Pegasi unicorns. What if Sombra is a crystal pony changeling? That is, if the second tree even bothered to create something like that. Chrysalis cares for her subjects on a personal level.
And as queen,
queen of the changelings. It is up to me to find food for my subjects. Equestria has more love than any place I've ever encountered. My fellow changelings will be able to devour so much of it that we will gain more power than we have ever dreamed of.
And you know what? Princess Luna as well. Even in her darkest hour, she said,
"Oh, my beloved subjects, it's been so long since I've seen your precious little sun-loving faces."
But here's the thing, if Cadence would have been around, she and Sombra would be able, with the Crystal Heart, to produce every emotion needed for the Changeling and Wendigos, and spread it across the land.
The Empire is filled with hope and love. Those things are reflected across all of Equestria.
A perfect biotope with the leaders able to put everything in balance. Now, what have we got? Two extraordinary strong magical trees, claiming the same territory. Of course they are going to compete about the ground. But how to fight? But wait, wasn't there one tribe on each side without purpose? Right, unicorns and changelings are the born defense systems of the tree. The question: if Cadence is from the second tree, why is she an alicorn that evolved from a Pegasus? Well, I see three possible ways to explain this. First, adaptation. The trees tried long enough till they managed to get along. Second, top working. Celestia and Luna grafted the Tree of Heart. Third, Celestia captured the newborn avatar and put the spell from "It Ain't Easy Being Breezy" to turn it into a Pegasus, either to shut her down or to raise her in their pony way of life.
I've been studying an old spellbook from the Castle of the Two Sisters. There's a spell that I think could help us. I've always kind of wondered what it would be like to be a griffin.
In each case, Twilight's purpose as Avatar is maybe just to create harmony between the trees.
Likely story!
Sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Clap your hooves and do a little shake.
You remember me!
Of course I do. How could I forget the filly I love to sit for the most?
Conclusion: if this theory is correct, it means there are at least two more of these trees on the world. The breezes, the zebras and the horses are most likely not from the same tree. The breezes need a weather system to produce the breeze for their magic.
It's the breeze that activates the breezy's magic, and that magic protects the pollen they're carrying from being destroyed.
Most likely they are in charge of the food. Maybe they live together with the other G1 incarnations, the sea ponies, protecting some kind of underwater tree. Oh my.
What did he say?
I'd rather not say.
The other trees, maybe not in conflict with those we have talked about, do a greater gap.
Well, she's probably not from here, and she's not a pony. My books say that zebras come from a faraway land.
The Tree of Harmony is located under the old castle of the Royal Sisters. I assume the Tree of Heart is also in reach of the castle. We know at least how big Equestria is. Their territory overlap, and that's a fact we can see in the Crystal Empire. Theoretical timeline of the two trees. The Tree of Harmony and the Tree of Heart grows. Subspecies spread in the world. Equestria grows stronger than the Crystal Empire. Modern terms. King Sombra and Queen Chrysalis get born to match out the strong love, which flows from Equestria to their habitat. The strong hatred causing the events of the heartwarming Eve carols. A spark of refounded harmony gave the tree enough power to give birth to Celestia and Luna. I have one last thought I want to throw in this brewing pot of ideas. Maybe, just maybe, the trees and their ponykinds are an invasive species that take over the world. In this case, I would say the hybrid creatures and Discord are the overthrown natives of these landscapes. After all, Equestria has a pretty chaotic nature. Thanks for listening to this theory. Did it make sense for you? Or was it just an attempt to lower the reputation of the princesses? I'd like to hear your thoughts on this.